Kate Morrison had always dreamed of attending a royal banquet, but she never imagined it would happen like this. As the newest member of the palace's cultural affairs team, she had been working tirelessly for weeks to ensure everything was perfect for the annual charity gala. The grand ballroom of Kensington Palace sparkled with crystal chandeliers, and the finest china gleamed on tables draped in ivory silk. She stood at the edge of the magnificent hall, clutching her clipboard and watching as distinguished guests began to arrive. Ambassadors, celebrities, and nobility filled the room with their elegant gowns and sharp tuxedos. Kate smoothed down her modest black dress, feeling somewhat out of place among such grandeur, but proud of the work she had put into making this evening special. The stress of the past few weeks had been overwhelming. Kate had barely slept, surviving on coffee and determination as she coordinated with florists, caterers, musicians, and security teams. Her supervisor had made it clear that any mistakes would reflect poorly on the entire cultural affairs department. The pressure was enormous, especially for someone who had only been working at the palace for 3 months. As the evening progressed, Kate moved quietly through the crowd, checking that the servers were following protocol and ensuring the charitable auction items were properly displayed. The cause was close to her heart, supporting children's education programs in underserved communities. She had personally reached out to artists and philanthropists to secure donations for the auction. Prince William, elegant in his formal dress uniform, moved gracefully through the crowd, engaging with guests and making everyone feel welcome. Kate watched from afar as he spoke passionately about the charity's mission, his genuine concern for the cause evident in every word. She had worked with his office to prepare his speech, but seeing him deliver it with such heartfelt conviction made her chest swell with pride. The evening's highlight was approaching, the main charitable auction where they hoped to raise significant funds. Kate had been coordinating with the auctioneer all week, ensuring the flow of items would maintain guests' interest and maximize donations. She felt a flutter of nervous excitement as she prepared to signal the start of the auction. However, as she stood near the stage area, Kate began to feel unusually warm despite the palace's normally cool temperature. The room seemed to be spinning slightly, and she attributed it to the exhaustion from her demanding schedule. She had skipped lunch in her rush to handle last-minute preparations, and breakfast had been nothing more than a hurried cup of coffee. The sound of clinking glasses and elegant conversation seemed to grow distant as Kate tried to focus on her checklist. She needed to ensure the auction proceeded smoothly, but her vision was becoming increasingly blurry. The ornate ceiling of the ballroom appeared to be moving above her, and she gripped her clipboard tighter, trying to steady herself. Kate took a deep breath, telling herself that she just needed to get through the next hour. The success of this evening meant everything to her career and, more importantly, to the children who would benefit from the funds raised. She couldn't afford to falter now, not when so many people were counting on her professional coordination of the event. The auction began with tremendous energy as guests bid enthusiastically on a collection of signed artwork. Kate positioned herself near the side of the room where she could observe both the auctioneer and the crowd's response. The first few items sold for impressive amounts, and she felt a surge of relief that her weeks of preparation were paying off successfully. As the evening continued, Kate's condition worsened despite her attempts to ignore the growing dizziness. The elaborate floral arrangements she had so carefully selected now seemed overwhelmingly fragrant, and the warm glow from hundreds of candles felt suffocating. She loosened her grip on the clipboard, realizing her palms were becoming clammy with perspiration. The next auction item was a vintage jewelry collection donated by a prominent socialite. Kate watched as the bidding escalated rapidly, reaching amounts that far exceeded their expectations. She should have felt triumphant, but instead, the room began to tilt dangerously around her. The voices of the crowd became a distant murmur, as if she were hearing them from underwater. Kate tried to make her way toward the back of the room, hoping to find a quiet corner where she could collect herself. Each step felt increasingly difficult, as if she were walking through thick mud. The elaborate marble floor beneath her feet seemed to shift and wave like water. She realized she was in serious trouble but didn't want to cause any disruption during such a critical moment of the evening. Prince William was actively participating in the auction, his presence encouraging higher bids from the assembled guests. Kate could see him across the room, animated and engaged with the philanthropic spirit of the evening. She admired his dedication to the cause and didn't want her personal struggle to detract from the important work being accomplished. The auctioneer's voice echoed through the grand ballroom as he presented a particularly valuable painting. Kate knew this piece was expected to be the evening's highest seller, potentially raising enough money to fund an entire school's educational program for a year. She forced herself to focus on this positive outcome, trying to use it as motivation to overcome her physical discomfort. However, as the bidding for the painting intensified, Kate's world began to narrow to a small tunnel of vision. The ornate walls of the ballroom seemed to close in around her, and the glittering chandelier above appeared to spin wildly. Her breathing became shallow and rapid, and she realized she was experiencing something far more serious than simple fatigue. Kate attempted to signal to one of her colleagues, but her arm felt impossibly heavy. The clipboard slipped from her fingers, clattering to the marble floor with a sound that seemed unnaturally loud in her ears. Several nearby guests glanced in her direction, their faces showing polite concern, but Kate was beyond the point of being able to communicate her distress effectively. The final thing Kate remembered clearly was the sound of enthusiastic applause as the painting sold for a record-breaking amount. The success she had worked so hard to achieve was happening all around her, but she was no longer able to participate in or enjoy the triumph. The room spun faster, the voices grew more distant, and darkness began to creep in from the edges of her vision. Prince William had just finished congratulating the winning bidder on the record-breaking painting purchase when he noticed a disturbance near the side of the ballroom. His trained eye, accustomed to scanning crowds for security concerns, immediately picked up on the subtle signs that something was wrong. A small cluster of guests had turned their attention away from the auction, their expressions shifting from celebration to concern. Moving with the practiced grace of someone accustomed to navigating formal events, Prince William excused himself from his conversation and began making his way toward the commotion. His security detail, always vigilant, followed at a discreet distance while maintaining their professional composure to avoid alarming the other guests. As he approached, Prince William saw Kate swaying unsteadily near one of the ornate marble columns. Her face had lost all color, and she appeared to be struggling to remain upright. The clipboard that had been her constant companion throughout the evening lay forgotten at her feet, and her eyes seemed unfocused and distant. Without hesitation, Prince William quickened his pace, his formal training in emergency response taking over. He had witnessed medical emergencies before and recognized the signs of someone about to collapse. His priority was reaching Kate before she fell and potentially injured herself on the hard marble floor of the ballroom. The moment seemed to stretch in slow motion as Kate's knees began to buckle. Prince William moved swiftly through the crowd, his formal dress uniform allowing him to maintain dignity even as he urgently approached the developing crisis. The other guests, sensing the gravity of the situation, stepped aside to create a clear path. Just as Kate began her descent toward the floor, Prince William reached her side. With smooth, practiced movements, he caught her gently but securely, supporting her weight with one arm around her back and the other steadying her shoulders. His military training had taught him how to react quickly and efficiently in unexpected situations, and those skills served him well in this delicate moment. Kate's collapse was graceful rather than dramatic, thanks to Prince William's timely intervention. He lowered her carefully to a seated position against the marble column, ensuring she remained dignified even in her vulnerable state. His actions were swift but gentle, demonstrating both his physical capability and his inherent respect for others' well-being. The nearby guests watched with a mixture of concern and admiration as Prince William took immediate control of the situation. His calm demeanor helped prevent panic from spreading through the crowd, while his obvious care for Kate's welfare touched many of the observers. This was leadership in action, showing genuine compassion for a hard-working member of his staff. Prince William quickly assessed Kate's condition, noting her shallow breathing and pale complexion. He loosened the collar of her dress slightly to help her breathe more easily and checked to ensure she hadn't injured herself during the near fall. His actions were both practical and respectful, demonstrating the proper way to assist someone in medical distress. While supporting Kate, Prince William gestured discreetly to his security team, who immediately understood the need for medical assistance. Within moments, they had contacted the palace medical staff who were always on standby during major events. The entire response was coordinated and professional, ensuring Kate would receive proper care without disrupting the charitable auction that was still in progress nearby. As Kate slowly regained consciousness, the first thing she became aware of was a gentle voice speaking softly near her ear. The words were reassuring and calm, telling her that she was safe and that help was on the way. Gradually, she realized she was seated comfortably against something solid, and a warm presence was supporting her. When her vision began to clear, Kate found herself looking directly into the concerned eyes of Prince William. For a moment, she wondered if she was dreaming or hallucinating from her medical episode. The reality of the situation slowly dawned on her. She had collapsed at the royal banquet, and the prince himself had caught her and was now ensuring her well-being. Kate attempted to speak, but Prince William gently encouraged her to rest and focus on breathing steadily. He had positioned himself so that his body shielded her from the curious gazes of other guests, providing her with privacy during this vulnerable moment. His thoughtfulness in protecting her dignity, even while helping her medically, impressed Kate deeply. The palace medical team arrived within minutes, their discretion and professionalism evident as they approached. Prince William briefed them quickly on what he had observed, describing Kate's symptoms and the timeline of her collapse. His attention to detail and clear communication helped the medical staff immediately understand the situation and begin their assessment. Dr. Sarah Chun, the palace's chief medical officer, knelt beside Kate and began checking her vital signs while asking gentle questions about how she was feeling. Kate's blood pressure was low, and her pulse was rapid but stabilizing. The doctor suspected exhaustion and dehydration, combined with the stress of organizing such a significant event. Prince William remained close by as the medical team worked, his presence providing both comfort and authority to ensure Kate received the best possible care. He asked Dr. Chun about Kate's condition and what steps should be taken for her recovery. His genuine concern for a staff member's well-being spoke volumes about his character and leadership style. Meanwhile, the auction continued in the main part of the ballroom, with Prince William's security team having smoothly managed the situation to prevent disruption of the charitable event. The guests were aware that someone had needed medical attention, but the professional handling of the crisis had maintained the evening's positive atmosphere and successful fundraising efforts. Kate felt embarrassed about causing such a scene, but Prince William quickly reassured her that her health was far more important than any concerns about protocol or propriety. He praised her dedication to making the evening successful and acknowledged the tremendous effort she had put into coordinating every detail of the banquet. Dr. Chun recommended that Kate be moved to a quiet room where she could rest and receive fluids to address her dehydration. Prince William personally ensured that arrangements were made for her comfort, instructing his staff to provide anything she might need and to keep him updated on her recovery progress. As Kate was being helped to the recovery area, she managed to express her gratitude to Prince William for his quick thinking and kindness. She was amazed by how naturally he had responded to the emergency, showing no concern for his own formal attire or the potential disruption to his evening. His actions had prevented what could have been a much more serious injury and had demonstrated remarkable compassion. After being moved to a comfortable private room within the palace, Kate spent the next hour recovering under Dr. Chen's careful supervision. The medical team provided her with electrolyte solutions and light refreshments, and her condition improved steadily. Her color returned to normal, and her energy began to stabilize as the immediate effects of exhaustion and dehydration were addressed. Prince William checked on Kate's progress twice during the remainder of the evening, stopping by between his hosting duties to ensure she was feeling better. During his second visit, he brought news that the auction had been tremendously successful, raising more money than they had ever achieved in previous years. Kate felt a surge of pride knowing that her weeks of hard work had contributed to such an outstanding outcome for the children's education charity. The prince took a few moments to sit with Kate and discuss the evening's events. He complimented her on the exceptional organization and attention to detail that had made the banquet so successful. From the elegant floral arrangements to the smooth coordination with the catering staff, every element had been perfectly executed thanks to her dedicated efforts. Kate learned that Prince William had personally ensured the auction continued seamlessly after her medical emergency, stepping in to maintain the energy and enthusiasm of the bidders. His leadership had prevented any disruption to the fundraising efforts, and the final total exceeded all expectations. The money raised would fund educational programs that would benefit thousands of children. As the evening wound down, Kate felt well enough to return to her duties, but Prince William insisted she go home to rest properly. He arranged for a car to take her home safely and instructed her supervisor to ensure she had the following day off to recover fully. His consideration for her well-being extended beyond the immediate crisis to her ongoing health and job security. Before leaving the palace, Kate had the opportunity to thank Prince William properly for his assistance. She was struck by his humility about the situation, as he emphasized that helping someone in need was simply the right thing to do. He credited her hard work for the evening's success and downplayed his own role in managing the emergency. The story of Kate's collapse and Prince William's quick response spread quietly through the palace staff, becoming a testament to the prince's character and genuine care for those who work with him. The incident demonstrated the difference between formal royal protocol and authentic leadership based on compassion and quick thinking. In the days that followed, Kate received a personal note from Prince William inquiring about her recovery and, again, expressing appreciation for her dedication to the charitable cause. The note also included information about palace resources available to staff members dealing with work-related stress, showing his concern extended to preventing similar situations in the future. Kate returned to work with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper appreciation for the leadership she had witnessed firsthand. The experience had shown her that true nobility comes from actions rather than titles, and she felt honored to work for someone who had demonstrated such genuine care during her moment of vulnerability. The royal banquet became legendary not just for its fundraising success, but for the human moment that revealed the character of both the dedicated staff member who had worked tirelessly for a good cause and the prince who had responded with immediate compassion and grace. Kate's commitment to excellence and Prince William's authentic leadership had combined to create an evening that would be remembered for years to come, both for its charitable impact and the touching demonstration of human kindness at the heart of royal service.